Well, the tractor shed's been on hold for a few days. We've been having a good bit of rain here at the Rusty Rooster. Little bit of bad news. Guess it's bad news. We've been living here in the Barndominium for a few months now, and so far, in just those few months, our power has been off about 3 times. Well, the last time that the power went off, I think we had a power surge. And if you guys remember when we was building the Barndominium, we put them arc fault breakers in. Well, they're about $55 a piece now, and it blew out 4 of those breakers, and I think, well, it took out our on-demand hot water too. So we got the breakers in, they got the power back on. We was without power for about, I don't know, 20 some hours, almost 24 hours, maybe longer. We got the breakers back in, got that all situated in the breaker box, got everything working there, and then the hot water tank. I'm going to go in there and show you what hot water tank we got, and I'm going to show you what's happening with the new one. We went and got a new one. Well, anyhow, let me show you. So this is the old hot water tank. The one that was in there, they're actually not old. It's an A.O. Smith on-demand hot water. We bought another one. Right there it is. And we put it in, and now it's all hooked up, and it keeps throwing a code saying that it has a leak. No water around anywhere or on it or anything. No water anywhere, but it's saying it has a leak, and it keeps throwing that code. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pull this one down, and we're going to take it back to Lowe's and get us another one. Now, Julie and I are not really sure that we like that setup at all. We don't have much of a choice right now because it's, you know, it's all plumbed in and it's sitting there. I really didn't like the on-demand to begin with, but we just need to have hot water. Those cold showers are terrible. So we're getting ready to pull that back out and go get another one. So that's 2. I'm not going to recommend these heaters at all. They're just, I'm not so sure. I'm not sold on them, and I never was. But being in the you know, the small Barndominium, we needed space. So we thought on-demand would be the way to go to save a little bit of space. So I guess we'll bring you along and get ready to change this out. So the first thing you want to do is make sure there's no power in this thing. So I got the power turned off with the main breaker box, and I pulled this little thing here which cuts the power off down through here. So there's no chance of us having any power in this machine. And that's a big thing. You want to make sure you don't have power in it, because now you got to unhook all these wires, and it would be a pretty sight if you get shocked. So I'm just going to loosen up this nut right here on the inside of this. We'll go ahead and pull our wires out of this thing. So we'll have 2 hots and 1 ground on this. These wires could be a little challenging getting in and out because they're so fat. They're big, heavy wires, you know. They're definitely heavy. And you got to get them through that small hole. So we'll take that nut off of there. This is what's holding our conduit on. And we'll go ahead and pull our wires out of there. We got one more screw to take out here on the wall, this little bracket. Okay, with our wires out of the way, we're going to go ahead and we're going to loosen these here. I looked at the book, it tells you how to drain it, but my book don't show me what they're telling me. They're telling me there's 2 bolts in here, and I don't have 2 bolts in there to drain it. So I'm just going to wrap a towel around each one of these. We're going to break it loose, catch the water, and take it off. So what I'm going to do is just take a towel, and we'll wrap it around this guy. Now you want to make sure you're using wrenches on the bottom of this and on the top. I know these are not super tight, but they're plastic, so you don't want to break them. There's not much to taking these off as far as needing a lot of strength. They're pretty loose actually. So once I got it broke loose, I'll wrap that towel all the way around it, go ahead and screw the nut off, and then whatever water comes out, we're going to keep it on this towel. We're not going to get a lot, but whatever we get, we're going to keep it on the towel. Just kind of shaking a little bit to get the water out of it. So that one was out. Now we'll do the same thing to the other side. We'll get the other side of our towel, wrap it around it, like so. Put our wrench on the bottom of this, so we don't want to break that plastic. We're going to turn this thing a little bit until it gets loose enough I can turn it with my hands, which ain't very far. Should be able to turn that with our hands now. I'm going to wrap that towel back around there nice and tight. Just trying to contain the water, you know what I mean? Okay. That should be all the water we get out of these 2 hoses going up there. But now the tank, the little water thing, is still got water in it. So we're going to have to get it off the wall. We'll throw that towel down on the floor in case something drops down there. So now all we got to do is take out these 4 screws, get it to the sink, drain it out, take it back. I might need you to give me a hand on this part once I get ready. It's full of water, so we gotta get it to the sink.
Okay. Oh.
Alright, I just tipped it over in the sink and gonna let it drain. Alright. So off the Lowe's, let's see if we can get this thing replaced, and we need some hot water. Head cold showers are terrible. Julie and I both last night took a cold shower, right, Jewel? It was cold.
Oh, yeah.
It's like jumping in an ice pool. So
Yeah, it's cold.
we need hot water. Okay, so we got our new on-demand water heater here. We took it back to Lowe's. Actually, I took both of them back to Lowe's because the other one was only a couple months old. And they had us call A.O. Smith. We called them and they were going to send someone out to look at them. And, well, we're too far in the woods, I guess. They wouldn't come this far. So they went ahead and let us exchange one and return one, which that was good for us. So we're going to go ahead and get this one put up, but they did really good by us. They made sure we explained to them what happened, and they were okay with exchanging one and refunding the money out of the other one. So let's get this guy put in, and maybe we'll be able to get a hot shower. Okay, you just had to unbolt all the housing here so we can get to where we can wire this up and get it mounted. The cover just comes right off. Now your cover has a plug on it. We're going to be unplugging this plug. Just that little plug right there. Because we got to get it mounted to the wall and get all the wires hooked into it. Now that we got our unit mounted on the wall, we'll go ahead and get our wiring hooked up. We're going to fish this right through the side of this, same way the other one does. Get our bolt. This guy will go on the inside of our conduit here. So we'll get our wires hooked into place. We're going to start off with our ground down here on the bottom first. This is a little tight screw to get in because it's underneath of that stuff there. But you can do it, just take your time. Then we're going to do our black wire first, second, I guess. These are a little tight in here because they're such a heavy piece of wire you're working with. Like I said, when you're doing this, make sure all the power is off. There's many different ways you can get it off. You want it off. Okay, our power is all hooked up now in here. We won't be turning it on. We still got to hook up these pipes on the top. Make sure you got these the right way. Now mine's already set up. I know which one goes where. You're hot and you're cold. Don't want to cross thread these either. Don't cross thread them. And we're not going to go crazy on tightening these. They're plastic fittings here. We don't want to break them. It's probably only going to be like a quarter of a turn or whatever, half a turn on them. After you snug them up by hand. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn the water on, but I'm going to get a rag, an old towel here or something, because I don't want any drips down on that thing. We'll turn this one on first. Then we're going to turn this on second. This is going to allow that water to go on up through. I'm going to turn my hot water on my sink so we got that line good and full. Now you can see the air bubbles coming up through there. So we're going to let this run for a little while until we see no more air bubbles. Check it for leaks around these while you're on that water. Don't see any leaks. So far everything's looking pretty good. We're going to give about a minute or so to run water through it. Okay, now we see no more air bubbles in these two lines. It looks like we got all the air out of it. We're going to go ahead and mount our cover on it. Now don't forget, we have to hook that little wire up that we unplugged when we first took this guy off. We're going to slide our cover on. And stick our screws back in. Okay, after my screws are all in, I'm going to go ahead and put the shut-off here. This is basically just a disconnect for this machine. This is not a breaker or nothing like that. It's just a disconnect. So we're going to go ahead and hit the power on. Okay, it says 120 degrees. So our water in our sink should be 120 degrees. So we'll turn on our water and see if it gets hot. Well, I feel a hot shower coming on. It is definitely getting hot. That is nice and hot right now. Turn on your water too and see if it gets hot over there.
Takes a minute. Yeah, I feel warm water.
How about a hot shower tonight?
Oh man.
It's gonna be nice.
Yeah, it's hot. It's hot.
I don't think I'll ever remember or ever forget that cold shower we took.
Ooh. Oh yeah, that was cold.
So let's go in and see. I want to make sure this thing's working okay, because this is what happened last time, and then it would keep kicking and telling us it had a leak. So, and it would flash a code up on there saying that we had a leak in there. So let's give it a minute or so and see what happens. Alright, the hot water is not throwing any codes. I think we're in good shape. We can get our hot shower. I think we were really fortunate this time to have that power surge come through and knock out the breakers, and for them to help us out with the hot water tank was great. And I think that A.O. Smith did a pretty good job. They took care of us with no problems at all. So
We got off pretty cheap, 240 bucks for 4 breakers. I didn't think that was too bad, but I think what we might want to do is look into some kind of a power surge, whole house power surge thing. Yeah, some kind of surge protector. Being on the end of the line, there's like 3 of us here, and all that power comes in and kind of wipes out everything in your house. The neighbor over there, actually Rick's son there, had a furnace that got burnt up. And he had a whole house surge protector on there, and of course he's been fighting with them to get them to repair the furnace because they had a, they guaranteed it. Yeah, it was supposed to protect it, but it didn't. So he's went through 2 or 3 furnaces.
A couple times.
At least 2 furnaces it burnt up.
Repairs, yeah.
That he had to get fixed. Well, right now he doesn't even have a furnace. It's not fixed. It costs too much money to keep replacing that stuff. But someone told me that West Penn Power will actually put something behind your meter that helps with surge. So we might look into that and see if we can get it, because I heard that it was a monthly fee for that thing to be on there, but it's got to be worth it, because you don't want to go replacing stuff like this, and especially if we'd had to replace a refrigerator or a stove or something like that, it could be in the thousands of dollars. So hopefully we can get something figured out for that. And if you guys know anything that we can get for the whole house, or even for one piece of thing, like a refrigerator, stove, whatever, because I don't know of anything that they have. So I would like to tell everyone thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave me thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment if you'd like. Till next time.